Update 1.1 for Battlefield 2042 is live on all platforms. It's not as big as Update 1.0, but it has added some quality of life improvements and new content. In today's video, I'll run down through some of the highlights and significant changes that weren't mentioned in the patch notes. Before that, I have a message from today's video sponsor. I'll be back in just a second. But first, I have a message from today's video sponsor, Yahaha Studio. Yahaha is a brand new user-generated content creation platform. It allows anyone to create and publish their own 3D virtual experiences. What makes it special though is that users can share their creations without needing prior knowledge of coding. Everything is accessible and possible using just the components and assets provided. Yahaha offers a massive library with millions of ready-to-use 3D assets which are streamed in real time to the local client, so you won't need to spend all day downloading everything one by one. Once your masterpiece is finished, you can just easily publish it to the Yahaha cross-platform app where other players can play it. Just a note, the app is available on PC and mobile devices. Different community events are run every month as well, so you could land yourself a hefty cash reward for creating the best 3D experience. If this sounds fun, click the link in the video description to download Yahaha Studio and get creating. Thanks again to Yahaha for sponsoring today's video. The first couple of things you'll notice in Update 1.1 is the new content. The A10 Warthog and SU-25TM Frogfoot have been added as new vehicle options for Battlefield Portal. Both are playable as part of the Battlefield 3 era. They've been added with the original flight mechanics of BF3, and they feel much more responsive than what's on offer in the base 2042 game. Many fans think that the base 2042 jets should undergo the same treatment and behave more like the older games. Now, I'm not a pilot, so I can't really comment on this, but I will pass along any feedback you lads leave in the comment section below. The 50mm cannons for the Condor and Superhind have been nerfed. It now fires single shots with a rate of fire of 40 compared to its original 110. There's also a longer replenish delay to fit the new slower rate of fire. On top of this, target acquisition for lock-ons has been massively improved, making the FX-M33 anti-air launcher much more viable. Designated marksman rifles have been rebalanced to make them more effective at range. They behave the same in close to medium engagements but perform much better at longer distances. Each DMR's bullet speed has been increased and the headshots now do more damage. Unfortunately, this change has also been applied to the new BSV-M, which was already pretty much the best gun in the game. Thankfully, DICE is working on balancing changes for the next update. Along with all of this, there are many performance tweaks, UI improvements, and balance changes to different weapons, specialists, and vehicles. And Hazard Zone even got a huge update, which I think I'll cover another time. The changes listed in the patch notes aren't actually new. They've been in the game since Update 1.0, but are only now being mentioned. According to one of the DICE developers, this stuff is only being mentioned now because of certification reasons. But like I mentioned, other changes were made and not listed in the official patch notes. Sundance has gotten a massive nerf. They can only now equip one grenade type to their belt. This means they can no longer have both the anti-air and scatter grenades available. You'll need to choose just one to spawn with. Quick correction here lads, my bad. You can still equip both grenade types, though the number of actual grenades available to use has been reduced to 0. The cooldown though has been lowered to 15 seconds, and we'll have to wait and see to see if this makes a difference in game, as those scatter grenades can be really overpowered, especially on the new exposure map in the interior areas. Though I do get that Irish is a direct counter to these grenades with his APS gadget, but you have to keep in mind that Irish is just one specialist. Grenade spam like this affects all specialists. As mentioned earlier, the MI240 Superhind was also nerfed with this update. The patch notes mentioned nerfing the Condor's 50mm cannon pods, but failed to mention that the exact same change was made to the other variant as well. Both are still quite tanky helicopters, but at least they won't be able to totally decimate infantry quite as often. Neil Stelinga confirmed on Twitter that soldier movement on previous generation consoles is now on par with next gen and PC. Now, this isn't something I knew was an issue, but I'm still glad to see PS4 and Xbox One users getting an excellent quality of life change. Community member and screenshotter Carpo pointed this out on Twitter. Advancing to the next sector in Breakthrough now plays a cool siren noise. Now, it's not much, but it does remind me of BF1's Breakthrough bagpipes, if you lads remember those. just that little audio helps make the game feel more Battlefield. The lead designer Florian has shared a pretty controversial change that wasn't mentioned in the patch notes. Casper's recon drone will move slower depending on how much C5 has been placed on it. Many players want this functionality removed completely as it really hinders vehicle gameplay, while others want it to remain as it is referred to as an only in Battlefield moment. Let me know what you think down below in the comments. Even after this video is published, I'm sure we'll be discovering more secrets and changes that just weren't mentioned in the patch notes, so make sure you subscribe for all of that. Infamous data miner Temporal has also shared some new details about future content for Battlefield 2042, and I can't wait to cover that in a separate video this week. So again, tickle that subscribe button so you don't miss that first look. Stay safe though, take it easy, and I'll see you lads later.